There's even a moment when he notices something off after Mel uses her powers. So, you know, this guy is catching on to things, and I started getting a little nervous. I'm like, oh God, is he gonna confront them? Like, what's going on? Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we're going to be talking about episode 4 of the Charmed reboot. But before we get into the review, I just wanted to show off this really wicked sweatshirt that my friend Angela from COVEN Clothing sent me. COVEN Clothing is a women's empowerment apparel company, and you know, it might not be October anymore, but you can still rock your witchy aesthetic all year long with her merch. This one says, "Welcome Witches." It's really cute and comfy, and I love the red, and it just gives me like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Charmed, witchy, cozy vibes. Perfect for fall. And what's even cooler is that Angela partnered with Give and Grow, which is a non-profit organization, and they're going to contribute 10% of all their purchases towards mentoring at-risk girls who want to rise to their full potentials. If that's not girl power, I don't know what is. I will leave a link to COVEN Clothing down below, so make sure you go check it out, and thank you again, Angela, for sending me this really cozy sweater. Okay, so back to Charmed. Now, this episode takes place fresh off of last week's Halloween episode, where we learn that Angela Wu is the Harbinger of Hell. First of all, this episode features a 6-month flashback, so we actually get to see Macy, Maggie, and Mel's mom Marisol appear again. That was nice, although unfortunately it wasn't in the best of situations. We see a pre-coma Angela Wu talking with Marisol and Mel and getting their advice on what she should do about coming forward about the sexual assault that she faced by that really creepy, terrible demon professor that we saw the Charmed ones defeat in the pilot episode. But now in present day, the cops, namely Nico and her partner Trip, are looking for Angela, and they have no idea that she's being possessed by a really terrible demon and is hanging out in the Vera attic waiting for the elders. Virginia Williams guest stars in this episode as Charity, the elder that comes to help the girls. Immediately, 2 things came to mind when she arrived. One is that there is definitely something going on between Charity and Harry, right? They like definitely have a past, like they have to. And then later on in the episode, even the girls begin to notice it, so there was something going on there. I wonder if we'll learn more about that as the season goes on. And then the second thing is that these elders are very different from the elders in the OG Charmed. In the original Charmed, the Council of Elders were a group of white lighters. And in this iteration of Charmed, the elders are more senior witches. We even learned that Marisol was an elder. Charity tells the girls that in order to defeat the Harbinger of Hell, they basically have to kill Angela. Like, it's gonna happen. That's just how it is. And Mel is not cool with that. And I think we also learn in this episode that not all of the authority figures are always right. In this situation, the elders were wrong because they think that Angela's soul is gone. But Mel does a spell to see if there's any way to save Angela, and she sees that Angela's still in there. She's just being suppressed by this demon. We also learn in this episode that Marisol had the power of prophecy and that she foresaw all of this happening and even had a spell prepared for the girls so that they could exorcise Angela and save her instead of having to kill her, as the other elders seem to think is the only option. What was interesting here was that the spell that she wrote for them was in Spanish. You know, there's been a couple of little hints. I think in one of the episodes you could see a Puerto Rican flag in Mel's room, but otherwise this is the first time that we're really seeing them head-on address the Hispanic roots that these witches have. I mean, they're doing a whole spell in Spanish to save Angela. Throughout all of this, we've seen that police officer Trip is kind of really suspicious of the Vera sisters right now. There's even a moment when he notices something off after Mel uses her powers. So, you know, this guy is catching on to things, and I started getting a little nervous. I'm like, oh God, is he gonna confront them? Like, what's going on? He ends up following them to this warehouse where they are exorcising Angela, and he sees everything, and now I'm like, oh, are they gonna like be able to wipe his mind? Is he gonna think that they kidnapped Angela? Like, what's happening? But unfortunately, in the midst of everything, he gets hit by some stray debris and is killed. So now they don't have to worry about him revealing their secrets, but they do have to worry about this dead body on their hands. Charity says that she'll take care of everything, not to worry, and by taking care of everything, she just really puts together this completely terrible cover-up that makes it look like this cop was evil and corrupt. She makes it look like he committed the Halloween murders and then killed himself, and it's just like it's a really terrible cover-up. Like, that was cold. And Nico is devastated that she lost her partner. And also that she like thinks that she didn't know him at all and that he was like this crazy guy when he really wasn't. The girls are able to save Angela, which was the whole goal to begin with. They trap the Harbinger in a paint can, and now Charity is taking that can with her to go meet the other elders and figure out a way to hide it or destroy it or whatever it is that they're gonna do. While she's in an elevator with the paint can though, some guy walks up to her and he's got some kind of crazy eyes. Obviously he's some kind of demon or something, and he uses whatever ability it is that he has to make her switch paint cans with him. So now she just has a regular paint can and he walks off with the Harbinger of Hell. What? First of all, who is this dude? Who is he working with? What's he gonna do with the Harbinger, and who's about to be possessed next? And you know, the Harbinger of Hell is the one that's going to call forth the source of all evil. So like, how much time do the girls have before all this chaos starts? There were a few other interesting things that went on in this episode. We learned that Charity really knew Marisol very well, and that Marisol asked her to put a spell on her so that she would, you know, kind of be able to get through a really traumatic situation, which we now learned was having to give up Macy. And that was a little bit of an emotional moment. I think it helped Macy realize that like her mom really didn't want to give her up. The fact that she kept Macy a secret from everyone and that nobody knew that these girls would become the Charmed Ones makes me think that there are a lot of other secrets that Marisol has, maybe ones that are connected to prophecies that she's seen, and maybe she kept them a secret because there's people that are elders in the inner circle or something that maybe they can't trust, or she wanted to keep the girls safe and separating them was the only way until they could come together and become the Charmed Ones as adults. I think there's a lot going on there, and I want to know more about these secrets that Marisol has. There's another moment in this episode where Maggie is trying to distract Parker so that he doesn't see a possessed Angela Wu, so she ends up kissing him. I'm kind of hoping they move on from that storyline. I thought they had some chemistry in the last episode that he was in, but in this one I wasn't really feeling it, and I would just love to see Maggie focus more on like herself and her powers. You know, they have a lot going on, and I think to add on hooking up with the president of your sorority's boyfriend, you know, it's just a little bit of unnecessary drama that they just don't really need in their lives right now. And I think Mel was really struggling a lot this whole episode with guilt. You know, she felt really bad that she told Angela that she should speak out about the sexual assault because it led to a domino effect that led her to being in the hospital, which is where the Harbinger took over her. And then now she feels really responsible over Tripp's death. And I think based off of the promo for the next episode, it looks like Mel's going to try to find a spell to make it so that she and Nico never met because she wants to protect her and doesn't want her to get involved in all of the witchcraft and drama and danger that is going to be going on in their lives. I also want to mention that while I do think the political and feminist storylines are super important, at times I do feel like it gets a little bit preachy. I feel like they're not seamlessly weaving the topics into the story like I wish that they would. And because of that, sometimes those moments do take me out of the story a little bit and I have to try to like get back into it again. I think when they focus on the sisterhood and the magic and the tasks at hand and their goals and saving the world and make that feminist message more of a subtle heartbeat throughout the show, it really works. Like how the girls wanted to try and do everything they could to save Angela, even if it went against the elders. I would love to know what you guys thought about this episode of Charmed this week. I'm especially curious to see what happens now with the Harbinger of Hell since it's not over yet. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and click that subscribe button because I come out with new videos every week. See ya!